What's Up Facebook. It's your girl Jazzy Red. I'm here with my co-host Yellow Baby.
Hey.
We are here for another week of But Have You
Try
Tried
it
It
for
For
yourself.
Yourself? I hope that everybody had an awesome week and everything went swell as we are closing out on another month and coming into May, Cinco de Mayo. We just had our Viva Fiestas going on. Everybody was tacoed up, I heard, and tequilaed up all day.
Margaritas.
Yeah, my Facebook was popping. So, happy Cinco de Mayo Day, um, whatever they, celebrate. Some of them,
Independence. The Independence
but
in Mexico.
some of them
But it's
don't.
some.
You heard different stories, so
Yeah, because
that's
I
why
heard
I said
October,
whatever.
September, or some September
Yeah,
16th.
that's their Independence
Yeah,
Days in
September
September.
16th. Yeah.
So just like we have Juneteenth,
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo is the 8th Juneteenth.
Yep.
It's one of them days I
Mm-hmm.
don't. I mean, is that wrong that I don't
No,
know?
I mean, well,
Okay.
we learned that in with
I
history.
forgot. I've been
That
out of
was a long time
school
ago,
20 years.
and that was actually middle school history that we learned that
So what you
stuff.
trying to say?
No, I'm just saying that was a long time ago for
Oh,
me. Me.
because
Exactly.
I was an honor student.
So was I.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't remember what Cinco de Mayo was. I just know I like tacos. You know what I'm saying? I just know that around that time, every year we had parties. Even at work, Cinco de Mayo, it went down. We had the little taco buffet bars and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
It went down. So
Wearing the sombreros and the ponchos.
all of that, all of that, all of that. The kids tested this week, STAR test, or what is it? Yeah,
Yeah,
STAR.
star.
They tested the STAR test this week, so congratulations to the kids. I know we was getting up, having to make breakfast every morning, make sure they was off to a good start, that they were functioning, make sure they was getting a good night's rest. So, that's hard for parents that have boys and some girls that stay up on them games, them phones and them games. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of walking in the room having to cut off TVs and video games, walking in there and the man from Fortnite standing there like this on the TV. You know what I'm saying? Waiting on him
Oh,
to
he
make
got
a
kicked
move.
out the room.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I be having to just take the whole core when I make the little bed. Let me just take everything. It's mine till tomorrow when you come home. So, yeah. All right. So, speaking of kiddos, Sunday is Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go smile because you love your mama. Yeah, today, every day.
I love being a mom.
You love being a mom, of course. And you love your mom too.
I love my mom.
Yes, it's Mother's Day. So, we are going to be talking a lot about mothers today. We're going to be incorporating that into our topics today. Of course, it's going to still be relative to relationships. Um, but of course, we have to just still give mothers their flowers. You know what I'm saying? Um, when I remember for myself being younger, I blamed my mother for a lot of things. And then once I became a parent myself, I understood that my mother was doing the best she could. Or she probably, the same way we get to the forefront, we have to make decisions on our own, and we have to, figure out how to sometimes make ends meet, or keep things afloat, and most importantly, keep things innocent from your children. For them not to know that there's ever a slack, or ever their mama's hurting, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So once I understood that, I gained a different kind of respect for my mother, because I was like, wow, she really was G about it, because I never seen her break down, or she always kept going. So um, that helped me be the mother that I am, because now I understand.
The sacrifice.
Yeah, I understand her love. I understood the hustle. I understood everything. So we're gonna dive into our topic today. I hope everybody is ready. Let's first talk about um, let's talk about people who actually have mothers, because we're gonna go into talking about the absent mother, of course, but I want to first dive into those that have mothers. You know what I'm saying? I know there's some people that had mothers and lost them at an early age, um, due to different things. Then there's those that didn't have a mother at all. So definitely going to talk about that, how that affects our interactions with other people, how that affects our relationships. Because a lot of times in life, what we do as adults is what we saw when we were younger. We're basically mimicking the examples that were put before us, right? So, with that being said, if there's no example of motherhood, which comes with nurturing and compassion, just the poiseness of being a lady. You know what I'm saying? The softness and all of that being in absence, it can control the way the woman interacts with a man. That makes sense because she's gonna be a little bit more rough around the edges. She's gonna be a little bit more stern, a little bit more strong headed, because she had to do a lot of thinking for herself. You know. All right. So you have a mother. You had a mother in home.
Hmm.
Single mother or mother and father?
Single mother, and then she remarried.
She remarried.
Hmm.
Okay. I was in a home with mother and father, um, all the way up until high school, until my senior year of high school, and my dad actually passed away that year, but my mom is still living. So then it became a one parent household.
Well, I mean, I said single mother. She was married,
Mhm.
single mother, remarried.
Okay, so y'all went through the different
Yes,
steps.
I
Okay.
had a daddy at home.
Okay. Cool. All right, so let's start with having the father at home initially and things
Mhm.
like that because going watching your parents go through the divorce, you know what I'm saying, and watching your mom still try to keep safe ground. Um, do you feel that watching her go through that experience has affected your dating relationships?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
In what ways?
Just decision making,
Mhm.
uh, choosing a man,
Mhm.
what you allow, things like that.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Um, do you blame her for it? Is there a bitterness in you about it, or
Blame her for.
for sometimes? Okay, so for an example, I've heard some people give stories where they blame the reason why they can't keep a man on their mama. You made me this way. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do this and I don't know how to do that, and you weren't there to teach me this, so it's your fault that my life is this way. Do you feel that way?
No, I don't blame my mama for how I treat men. I would probably say I saw different scenarios, situations where I wouldn't want to be in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I blame her. No, I would just say I saw different scenarios and different things that I wouldn't stand for.
Did you find yourself repeating some of those same
Oh, most
situations?
definitely in relationships, most definitely.
Okay. So then, did her treatment towards you change once the divorce came and there was another man involved?
Not because of the divorce, but when the other man came, it was more of
So
not the effect of daddy being gone.
right, but once
It
he
was the
came
effect of
around,
a new man coming.
and it changed the way she interacted with you.
Oh, most definitely.
She
Yeah.
had no time for you.
It was just what every woman do when she get a man. Some of them put their kids to the side. Some of them like to party. Some of them only deal with the man and send their kids off. It was just a typical. I'm not saying that's what she did. I'm just saying
Right.
that's situations. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Okay. I can dig that. Similar situation. My parents didn't go through the divorce, but as far as seeing what I saw in home, it definitely overlaid into my adult relationships. It affected um, the type of man that I saw after because even though a lot of times we don't want to go after the man who is our father because our father may have been strict or he may have been this type of way,
Right.
and so of course those type of girls that have come from a strict household, they end up liking street dudes, they end up liking thugs, what I'm saying, they want somebody that's hardcore, that's going, what I'm saying, and a lot of women end up liking them too that had an absent father, you know what I'm saying, because they still looking for that
They
nurture,
looking for daddy.
right? They
Yeah.
looking for that nurture, so they like them as well. So
And same with men. There's a lot of men chasing mama.
I was going there,
Yeah.
shooter. I was going there.
Yeah.
That's why you always be on me, boy.
I got you.
Clearly. We need a person with cue cards, but that wasn't her. That was her line. You wasn't supposed to say that. And we ain't even practiced this. That's what we like, okay, stop.
This is straight
Let
raw,
me,
y'all.
this is
raw.
raw. Yeah. And I don't even be getting the chance to say what I was trying to say because, but anyway, I was talking about daddies first. But no, so with the fathers, you know what I'm saying, it's just down in touch with you. The same thing. Um, if they're missing a mother as well, I mean, I'm talking about unisex with this, you know, I'm just getting your experiences first. But yes, it does affect the males as well because they don't have anybody that's showing them how to be soft with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because I talk to my boys, you know, and I'm like, okay, I have to pull them aside. Like my oldest son, he likes to walk around without a shirt. He's 14 years old. So of course he's got the the little slim body. He's athletic. He plays football. He's running track now. So everywhere he goes, it's basketball shorts. And even at track practice, I'll have to go, look at him and be like, pull it down, because he'll have the shirt flipped up or whatever, or flipped over his head. And I have to tell him, you have to understand that these little girls have fathers, and you being out and you being out and having your chest out like that, they may offend their fathers. You know what I'm saying? And I said, especially with you wanting to have homegirls and little girls that you call your friends, you going over to their house with your chest out. I guarantee the fathers are not going to welcome you. You know what I'm saying? And I had to, tell them the same thing at church. I said, just think if you had a little sister. You don't want all these boys walking around with their chest hanging out while your little sister walking around. I said, so you have to think that same thing. I said, I understand it's a comforter for you when you at home or you at the basketball court. You can do that, but not when you around these little girls. So, he feeling himself or whatever, but we you have to talk to them and teach them how to treat a woman. You have to teach them, you know what I'm saying? Okay, this can't go down. Because if it was up to a young man for them to do what they want to do, man, what comes out their minds first, you'll carry a shank everywhere you go. Nah, but it's fun talking to them and seeing their insight on life, and how they perceive things, and what they think things are supposed to be. And it really makes it fun as far as motherhood, to be able to protect their innocence or to teach them things at their appropriate times. You know what I'm saying? As you see fit. That's why it's good to have conversations with your kids. It's good to talk to them and see where their heads are, and teach them. Because, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, children mimic what they see from us. So if they see consistency in the home and they see parents that are working things out, even if they're not in separate homes, they can come to an understanding later in life that the parents couldn't work things out together, but they still see you guys becoming a team and working together for the better of them. That's still family. They're still an example of family to the child. So they're not seeing, you know, combat. You know what I'm saying? They're not seeing you guys go back and forth, and that strain with them having to decide what parent they love the most, because whether y'all know it or not, kids.
That affects.
Yes, it does. So those are all good, pointers as far as having a mother in home, being able to teach the child, being able to pour into them, and actually teach them. And of course, there's attributes that we can talk about for the fathers as well. But today we're talking about the mothers, and the mothers definitely have a more significant role to me. Of course, in a man, in a boy, maybe the father has more significant attributes than the mother can, but I still feel that the nurturing that comes from the mother, it teaches the child to be social. You know what I'm saying? It's like an all round thing that you get from a mother's love, that you carry with you no matter what. Like that bond is just different. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the father doesn't have a bond, but the bond that you have with your mother is like an inseparable bond because you come from the womb. So, what you got to say? Poking them lips out.
Was I poking my lips
Yeah.
out? The mother is, like I said, is very much. I mean, you can grow up with a dad, just a dad and no mom.
Yeah.
But you're gonna always miss. Remember Antoine Fisher?
Mhm.
I love that movie.
That's a good example.
Chasing his mama.
Yeah.
Looking for his mama.
Look at the things that he went through.
And all he did was dream about the day when he meet his family and find his mama.
Yeah.
You know, you don't. you dream of dad and what he was like, and you know he would approve of things, but it's something about mama's love that
Yeah.
anybody is supposed to gonna want to have.
And that's true because I've actually sat and thought to myself, like things that I've missed out because my father was gone. Like he wasn't there to see my children born, and he wasn't there to give me away at my wedding, and he wasn't there to have that first dance with me at a reception for my wedding. I think about those type of things, or when my kids do achievements and things that we like to do, or we know he would enjoy. You find yourself saying, "Ooh, my daddy."
Ooh, I need
Yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
I think about that, and then I also sit and think what life would be if my mother was not here. I do tend to think that because there have been instances where I've almost lost her. So I wonder the same thing, and just as the example that you're giving, it's more significant. It's more like, man, I wouldn't have had this talk, and I wouldn't have been able to, keep my lights on that time. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just more things you're gonna call your mama for than you are
Right.
your father. You know what I'm saying? So mamas are rock.
And also grannies. Cause
Oh,
that's part of mamas. Did I jump too far again?
Hey.
Look, I just don't want to miss no bullet points, okay?
We need one of them little broadcast things to come
The
across the screen.
teleprompter.
Because I'm finna throw my shoe at her. For real.
Oh, with the colors that go there.
We're jumping topics, B.
I know it's a jumping topic.
That is because we ain't went through yet. I was gonna talk about. We was talking about mothers in the home. Then we was supposed to go to another topic after that. So right now we talking about
mamas
in the home.
in the home.
Thank you, Yellow. Back to our regularly scheduled program. So, all right. So back to what we were talking about, though, since we got us off track. Mothers are the rocks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you do see households where the fathers keep everything afloat, and they are the rocks as well. But there's nothing like having. You just see a different kind of bond, a different kind of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like I done seen situations where the daddy was like, "Nah, we ain't giving them no money this time." You know what I'm saying? She can't come by here and borrow no money. Your mama gonna be like, the money under the flower pot on the porch. Just wait till we go to church to Bible study and come pick up the money. Like mama gonna make sure you still right. Good. You know what I'm saying? She gonna make sure you still all right or whatever. So I just have respect for mothers. You know what I'm saying? I've always loved the nurturing of mothers. I've always loved the wisdom of mothers, even there's people that's not my mothers. I love mothers.
Oh, yeah.
I love other people's mothers too. Yeah. Like I do. I love mothers.
Even when they're work moms.
Yeah, the work moms were the best.
Church moms. Yeah.
Man, I had a work mom, y'all. That my last son, I was going into labor. I had got real sick over the weekend, and they thought I went into labor. By the time I got home, I had a rocking chair, a crib, a changing table, because they knew I hadn't had my baby shower yet, and they knew I wasn't ready for the baby.
Just right.
So they all got together at work, and she put it all together, and
that's sweet.
And then they delivered it all to the house.
Oh wow!
They brought it all to me.
Yeah.
So all I had to do was just set it up, and so I was set.
Mothers taking care of mothers.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, it's definitely dope. So yeah, let's go to abuelitas, the grandmothers. Okay, let's talk about grandmothers because a lot of us are raised by our grandmothers, and that's a different kind of respect. Like, if you ever talk to a man who was raised by his grandmother, man, he's gonna be a different kind of compassion. He's gonna have a different look on life because, for one, he knows he missed something. You know what I'm saying? That somebody else had to fill a void, and then on top of that, it's somebody that may have been elderly or may not have been able to provide the way that what I'm saying, a mother would have been able to provide because they were older in age or may not have the benefits or sick, whatever. So there's always going to be a different kind of love. And of course, men are going to love mothers different than women. I'm sorry. Men are going to love the mothers different than women do. Girls tend to be like, that's mama. You know what I'm saying? They clash a lot because, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to hear what mama's trying to say. Mama's going to, put a cramp in your game. She going to mess everything up for you. So, for real, like, I didn't get along with my mama until I was 20 years old. Like, for real, I'm just keeping it, but now we're inseparable. But growing up, because I was a daddy's girl, so I feel like Mama always went against me. Like I'm not even gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask Daddy. So when he would make me go ask her, it was like you was trying to sentence me to death. Like you pretty much telling me I can't go because you gonna make me go ask her. So that's your way of getting the no out because you know she's gonna say no. I mean, there was just a lot of different things. My mama was very, very, very strict. Very strict. Very strict. I mean, strict to the point where I couldn't wear certain things. I couldn't dress certain ways. I couldn't wear my hair certain ways. I couldn't even get my eyebrows arched, y'all. Like, when I got my eyebrows arched for my prom, my mom, when I came home, that's the first, she noticed, like, everything. She's like, oh, you cut all your eyebrows. Like, she couldn't do nothing. Yeah. Just strict. But I understand it now. What it was, there was just certain things that a lady my age was not supposed to be doing.
I just really wish those type of women still were
Existed,
around.
Yeah.
Because I had a light bulb in my head for another topic of, the young grannies.
Oh, yeah.
The young grannies. So that's another day.
The sister grannies.
The sister grannies.
That's what they are.
The aunt grannies.
Because they really
aunt sisters. Is that right? Aunt sisters?
Sister mama.
Sister mama.
Can you my granny sister because you cool granny, but you act like my sister. I don't know.
That's another subject. But most definitely, when you was talking about just the grannies and stuff, and how men are raised by grandma and how they have a certain respect, and how you say how your mom was strict and and raised these girls to be a certain way and raised these boys to be a certain way, and then then the new grannies that's at the club, and we'll talk about it another time.
No, but I agree. That's definitely But that we can actually talk about that now because that does affect the type of people we interact with and the type of people we date. If you're, I mean, just for example, if you have somebody that's old fashioned, you know what I'm saying? Because and the reason why I say that is because we've been out of school for 20 years. So when I first got, don't try to tell nobody, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, class of, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, when I first got out of high school, the standard that was, put in me while I was at home did carry with me, you know what I'm saying? It was stuck to me really heavy. And I actually sit and thought, I think a lot because I write a lot. But in thought, and I was thinking about how the person I was when I first left home versus how I am now, how laxed I am with certain things that when I first left home was instilled in me so hard that I was actually maybe afraid to do or afraid
to let go yet because you still think somebody, hey, what you doing?
Not even just so much that, because not even just so much that it was more of the discipline that was put in me for certain things. There were certain things that it was like symbol, going out to the pilot, there were certain territories that I couldn't touch. Yeah, that's right. That I wasn't supposed to walk or whatever. There were certain things I wasn't supposed to know about. Like I'm gonna tell y'all a secret, nobody knows. But I didn't watch Dead Presidents till I was grown because my parents because my parents didn't let us watch certain movies. So like we had it on tape, on VHS or whatever. And when my parents had it, they had those certain movies in their room. So we didn't have access to those. We would have to like sneak in there and go watch it. But I just never went in there because whatever it was they didn't want us to see, I didn't even want to try to see, because that was just, how they were instilling it in us. So, again, that's my mother trying to protect my innocence. You know what I'm saying? That, she didn't want me to see things before my time. She didn't want me to witness certain things before it made sense to me. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want me to be sad.
And it's crazy because we watched those movies as kids and we saw a lot of movies. But now, my baby, oh no, she can't watch that. Oh, she can't. No.
But I remember when we was little.
Because I was watching movies like I didn't know what that meant. Now that I'm grown watching it.
Have you watched something when you were little and then watch it again now as an adult? I didn't know that's what that meant.
That's what that meant. That's all this is.
And we was walking around that school
saying that stuff. Reciting the plays, all
doing chores with it.
Man. I remember singing Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me at the talent show.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about
I mean, we was just singing all the time. That was 5th grade.
So I remember getting backhanded to when I was riding in the car with my daddy one time, and my very first time by Marcus Simpson
Oh
them had came on,
yes, my
and
bad.
and I mean I was rocking, hitting it hard. I was clap your hands if you remember your first time.
I mean, he was like,
He said, what you mean your first time? And so, the rest of the song, I just was tapping my foot because he couldn't see that, and I ain't want to jam the song. I was looking out the window, but my foot was still tapping. He was like, what? I was like, man. So, I mean, we couldn't listen. Songs
and
like
you didn't
that.
know better.
Songs like that would make him change the station. So we would have to listen to like 98.7 K Love.
We used to listen to classical music in my group.
107.5 The Oasis. That was the jazz station. It was we didn't have 94.5 K Soul and 105 back then.
Oh yeah, no.
We had 100.3 Jams. So
we had KZEY in Tyler. So
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's an AM station.
Yeah.
We didn't even have FM. We was trying to listen to the Dallas station.
The AM stations. That's what we was riding with my granny or my papa. We had 97, Heaven 97, and KHVN. The 1040. Is that what it was? Yeah, 1040 KHVN. Yeah. So.
Is that 690 KZEY? I think that's right. Tyler, am I right?
That sounds like something you gotta sit in your room.
No,
and like breaker, are you here?
Girl, the quality of the sound was so different. We was trying our best to get K104.
I bet.
Man,
I'm finna go to the backyard.
We couldn't wait to come visit in Dallas just so we can listen to K104.
I'll be right on the freeway, like I think it's coming in.
Sam Putney and remember
Skip
Cheatham,
Skip
Murphy, yes.
Yep, those was the days.
Back in the day.
So yeah. Back to the lecture at hand. So everybody that's coming to join us right now that's just chiming in, we've been talking about mothers today. So far we've talked about the households that have had mothers in them and how that affects how we are sociable in life, how we are dating, how we approach people, how we treat people, etc. So if y'all are just joining in, welcome. And we're going to get back into the subject. So we're going to switch over to grandmothers and how grandmothers raise us as well, and those are also considered mothers to us. I feel like people who are raised by their grandmother, they happen to be a little bit more humble in life. Not to say it wasn't like, that boy just really just put a strain on that grandmother. Or that girl just did that woman so wrong. That does happen, but those people still eventually have some type of repentance if they're not in their heart to the person, hopefully. Because they realize, that whatever was going on with self does affect the person that's raising you.
A lot of times grandparents are taking care of the grandkids because they kids ran off.
Think about Menace to Society. Think
about
Cain. Cain, by the time his grandparents was old. So there was kind of like no intimidation and discipline, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of free to do whatever he wanted to do. But even more so, before he got with them, the lifestyle that he saw his parents living. So it was always like, I can't wait till I get to that age. I'm going to do the same thing that I saw my parents do. And so there was not much the grandma, like in the movie, the grandmother was like, Cain, please. But it was really like nothing she could do. She was literally just his guardian. You know what I'm saying? So to say. So in those situations, it's more saddening because there's no there's a nurture there, but there's only so much that grandmother is able to give at that point. You know what I'm saying? So you see situations where those type of kids are taken away from the home or placed in foster care, and that kind of goes into the next topic that we're going to talk about is, kids that don't have mothers or are taken away from their mothers, and how they end up in that same cycle. And most importantly, some of those type of people resent women. You know what I'm saying? So you find women who kind of shy away from the world. They don't want to be mothers themselves because they didn't have a mother. They kind of resent it. They become lesbian. Then you have some guys who resent women for that, you know what I'm saying, because they feel like women are scum or because they are incapable of certain things. So that Absolutely, absolutely. They're burned, they're bitter, they're scorned. So their interaction with women, it can be sometimes abrupt. It can be very disrespectful, hurtful. Um, it can get grimy.
Yeah.
For real, I've seen some situations.
Well, they
Um,
argue with women just to mistreat them.
yeah, they use them.
Hmm.
It's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. It's a mental thing.
I agree. I agree. So let's talk about absent mothers. Let's talk about how not having a mother in the household, or what I'm saying, losing a mother at a young age, how that affects dating, and that's for both males and females. Um, let's talk about the males first. So with the guys, we kind of touched base on it earlier. You know what I'm saying? As far as I started thinking, how did I start raising my boys? Like, even from a young age when they were small, what were the things that I was teaching them from the very beginning on their interactions with little girls? They can't touch them. You know what I'm saying? And I find myself even now emphasizing more things because things aren't what they were when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? So now we have all these different laws in place and different acts that have been put in place. My son had an incident, at school dealing with some pictures that were being passed around, text to the kids through phone, and um, almost ended up getting in trouble where it was going to be considered
Harassment or
it was going to be considered distribution of child pornography because the picture that they were passing around. Some other guy sent it to him, and he showed it to someone else. The student that he showed it to probably felt offended and went to the authorities and told them about it. And so he got in trouble for it because he showed it, and they wanted to make sure that it wasn't sent to anyone else, because had he sent it to someone else, then he would have
got in trouble.
he would have
Yeah.
So it's dealing with
We
these
had
little.
slam books.
We don't talk about you on some sheets. You give me some
We
sheets.
had slam books.
And look, I got something to say.
Yeah.
Look, by lunchtime, the slam book is at the table. I seen what you put on page 3. So what's, yeah, I'm page 3.
Yeah.
You didn't know?
It kind of, be honest, it kind of sucks to be a kid now, but it's good as well because they got all this technology and stuff. But then it takes a lot of their innocence, and a lot of these kids don't even know about outside. They don't go outside and play. They don't get scuffed up anymore. You know what I mean? They want to sit in the house and eat chips and hot Cheetos all day, and they don't know the experience of running outside barefoot, getting sticker bugs in their feet, and just the life of a kid. Riding bikes.
But that has to do with
the parenting as well.
I'm gonna go there in just a minute. Put it in your pocket and save it, because I got something for that. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna come back to that. But I'm gonna come back there. But so not having a mother, you know what I'm saying? That's what we were talking about. Um,
Yeah, I heard it.
I'm right. You know what? It's just a new environment. I'm gonna get used to it. I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. Mother's just not in the household.
But I was gonna say something, but
Because
before I told you to put it in your pocket, like we was talking about something, and I was like, hold up. You know what I'm saying? So now I gotta think about what I was saying before I said hold up. No, I mean, look, hey, Facebook, it happens. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, this is live.
But okay, let me just jump into this. So, not having the mother in the home or whatever, and not having somebody that can pour into you and teach you. Like I said, I was, thinking about what I started teaching my boys from a young age as far as dealing with little girls. And I had to deal with the touching more than anything, because my boys are. I'm affectionate with my boys, so they're used to getting hugs. They're used to hugging people, and they're used to, being very playful and things like that. So my oldest son, I didn't have to worry about it as much. My middle son, he liked touching. He liked touch.
Okay.
He was the one that like, ooh, pantyhose. He just want to touch on the way pantyhose feel on your legs. he liked legs.
Okay.
My youngest son, he likes to give hugs. But I noticed
Yep.
Now he getting the age he does.
Was he
Everybody like
breastfed?
all of my boys.
Okay, my baby was breastfed. She's a big titty baby.
But he'll walk, because at first people was like at church they'll be like, every time your baby see me, he always give me a hug. He is so sweet. And I was like, okay, it was cute. This when he little, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, that's his thing. He a charmer, that's what he is.
Okay.
So that's just what he does.
Okay.
So now he's getting older, and I'm watching him walk through the church, and I see him walk to one lady, and I see him walk to another lady, and I just be like, watch it, because he be sitting there, he'll just be like.
And you just later.
And he just be laying there. I'll be like, okay, that's enough. Go to the next lady. Come on.
Oh wow.
So, but they're respectful boys. They just still boys. You know what I'm saying? You just notice little cute things that they do when they're growing up. But touching was there definitely one thing that I had to teach them about the girls, even fighting with them, because especially coming in a household, I have all boys, so they didn't understand what girls were till they started going to school or being in church with little girls. They had to interact with them to see them. And that's when I would have to tell them, they're not you. They don't have the same thing you have. You can't hit them. You can't push them on the ground.
They're not strong.
Yeah, because one day I seen it. That some little girl took a toy, and I seen one of my boys push that baby down. I was like, oh no, we can't do that.
No, baby,
Yeah,
no.
because first thing I'm saying is your baby.
Yeah.
So that's very important. Actually, is talking to the boys about their interaction with girls and vice versa, because it gives a level of understanding. Unfortunately, there weren't a lot of things made plain for me. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things for me were experienced on hand. You know what I'm saying? Versus actually being taught and saying, okay, this is why you don't do these kind of things. And so when I talk to my kids, I like to give them examples. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I tell them my stories. You know what I'm saying? I have to tell them like, hey, just because mama did it, don't think you can try it. But I'm telling you, this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because we even drove by my old house, and the first thing they wanted to see was the window that my brother was sneaking out of. Because of the stories that I had told them. So they was like, which one is the window that he climbed out of? And I was like,
oh wow.
So that made me think about the story I told them when I used to steal the car.
Oh. Uh-oh.
So, I just pray mercy and grace, God. That's all I say. Won't he do
it? Yes, he will.
But, but for real, let's talk about mothers pouring into young ladies.
Because I wanted to go piggyback off you saying mothers teach their kids and their sons certain things that daddies don't even think about to teach their kids.
Because it's not natural.
Because it's not natural for them. So that's why they need that mama, because it's things that mama think about that daddy don't think about that they need to pour into their kids.
Absolutely. A man's my perspective is to provide. Protect as long as. So basically, he gonna sit down all day long. He can hear everything yelling through the house, running through the house, and if it's a woman there, he ain't saying nothing unless it's getting to the point where he can't understand what's going on the TV. Whatever he watching is getting to that point. But all the parenting, he gonna sit there and be like, oh, she got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he expect everything to go on, cleaning, cooking, everything, and mothering while he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can be like, yeah. Oh, okay, that's it. Like you get no interaction. No. But that's just because a man's, they're solvers. Like I've said before, they're solvers. They like to solve problems. They're the providers. They're the breadwinners. They're the protectors. They're the foundation, so supposedly, of the home. And so I was gonna start talking about the fathers. The mothers pouring into the daughters. To me, this is very, very, very important. And it's kind of going to tie into going in your topic about young mothers, being a young mother and not fully understanding what your job is and what is at hand here? What am I doing? What requires of me as being a mother? You never understand that when you have that first kid. You really don't. And so just think if you have it at a younger age when you haven't lived a little bit and you don't understand anything. Because now I think to myself like, dang, if I would have had kids now, I know things would have. I would have done things like a 360 differently. Like seriously because I've lived a little bit. I've witnessed some other things and other ways that people do stuff. A lot of times when you're in your own bubble, you can only do what you feel is best for you because you're thinking for yourself.
Right.
But when you expose yourself to other people and other things, and you talk with other mothers, you get different tips.
And your own experiences.
You get different tips and how to make it better, or they tried something else that worked a little better than what you've tried. So, how can I say this? Because I know we grown. Gotta say something. Okay. So my personal experience is, like I said, my mother was she was she was a chick. But there were just certain things that because no one poured it into her, she didn't pour it into us. You know what I'm saying? There were things that she like how we're talking about the foundation of a home and it running and operating because the mother is she's washing everybody's clothes and she's making sure we have hot meal every night and she's budgeting the checkbook and she's getting the groceries and she makes sure the bills is paid on time and everybody's got fresh tire and everybody's always in something clean.
Taken care and we expect it. We just used
it was
to
so routine that we didn't know nothing else. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You didn't know the difference until it was taken away from you or it was no longer there. And so when it because and I can look back now and say maybe there were some parts where I could have tried to beat the horse a little bit harder, but because I was so up under my dad, me not having a relationship with her didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? It was like whatever. Like I said, I was a typical teenage girl that didn't care. You are the devil. Everything that I want to do, you trying to knock it off. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go somewhere, you or something, it just felt like you was trying to put salt in the game.
Yeah. But she just protecting me on her little mama bubble.
What it was is she didn't ever get to do none of that stuff.
And so she's blocking you from doing it.
I ain't gonna say blocking. I ain't gonna back then she was blocking.
Well, she
when I was
know...
17, she was blocking.
Okay.
But now,
yeah.
But now I'll say she didn't get to do those things, and so she didn't see the importance of
doing it. Yeah. You ain't
you know what I'm saying? So she was having to take care of her brothers and sisters at a young age because my grandmother was working 2 jobs. So with that being said, nobody was. She didn't get to go to the dance and the prom, and she didn't get to go to the movies with the friends and hang out on the weekends, and because she was at home. You know what I'm saying? So those things were important. Yeah. So when we would come to her and hanging out, then
she didn't understand why y'all wanted to do that.
Well, that too, and then I remember when I became an adult, she talked to me. I went back and talked to her about curfew. Because when I was in school, I had to be in school. I'd be in the house early, way early before my friends. Like even if I went to a football game, the game is over at 10. I gotta be home at 10:30. Like I'm like, dang, everybody going to CC's. I can't be home at 12. And so she told me when I was older, and it made sense. She can't go to sleep until everybody that's supposed to be under her roof is under her roof, right? So if she has to go to work the next morning, and I don't come in the house till 1:00 in the morning, she don't get to go to sleep till 1. She got to get up at 5. So that means I'm depriving her of getting up to get a good night's rest to go do what she needs to go do for her 12-hour job tomorrow. So I didn't understand that at the young age because I'm being selfish. I want to party, free. I'm almost grown. I'm gonna get out of here anyway. So that's just a typical us. But I appreciated her different. I was like, dang, I'm sorry, Mom. I repented. I did. But
it's good you was able to have that type of conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get those conversations and ask their mama why and why did you do this and why did you do that.
And it's good because it helps me be a parent to
your kids.
And so the thankful part for me is being able to go back and fill in the spaces and stuff that I didn't get when I was younger. Even as far as even carrying myself as a young lady, there was so much you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That there was no explanation on why. So of course, eventually, I'm watching everybody else do this. Well, why can't I? Is it just because you old fashioned? You know, because I did have old fashioned parents. So I kind of felt like a lot of things that she wasn't allowing me to do was not so much because it was a protection. I felt like it was because she was old fashioned and she wasn't used to this kind of stuff, and you know, yeah. So whatever. So even on hygiene, you know, if you have a person in your life that's not taking the time to teach these little girls, I have been coaching cheerleading for 18 years, and I have encountered so many situations where the little girls reap. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's I always wanted a daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, wow, like you don't take the time to teach them how to do this, or you don't sit down and show them this is how you're supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's so important. Um, to teach them how to cleanse themselves, to teach them how to keep themselves a certain way, because there is a different maintenance on a woman or a young lady than it is for a boy. You know, little boys, all I gotta do is tell you to clean it, keep it clean, lift it, clean it, do your thing, get up out of there. That's it. Dry it off. Don't put nothing in there. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to stick nothing in there. Boys is good. No, for real.
Oh.
You.
I didn't think. I don't have a voice, so I ain't never think about
just
that.
think about walking in a room
man.
and seeing your son looking at it like he just wants to stick something.
Oh.
So yeah, you just boys are curious.
Yeah, curious. Oh, most definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, but you know, our young ladies, I love the young ladies. I love our baby girls because they're our future womb carriers. But you know, ladies, on this subject, and we're going to touch on the young parents before we close out. That kind of goes in hand with us, with the parenting, because um, when you're a young mother yourself and you haven't finished learning life, it's hard for you to pour into somebody else what you didn't have. So if you had a young mother, your mother is 14, 15, 16 when she had you. By the time you a teenager,
you pregnant.
No. By the time you're a teenager, your mother is really just learning life.
My 28, like 29.
You know, even when she's 14, yeah, she's 28. But I'm saying when you get ready to graduate, she just hitting her 30s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So your mama just really starting to learn how to live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care. Like, to me, my 20s, I'm like, man, I should have just been learning. Like, really, that should have just been notepad years. Because now I'm really getting to live. Like, my 30s are dope. You know, like, I'm really getting there. I'm understanding life. I'm understanding economics. You know, my sister know how to make some paper. You know, there's just, you know what I'm saying? My family is stable. You know, I'm just seeing a lot of different things, you know, more differently for me now because I've lived a little bit. You know, I fell a little bit. I've gotten back up. And so, had you know me having the children at that age that I did versus when I even would have had them even younger, I definitely feel that of you know would have impacted you know the mother that I was to my kids. And so with that being said, you know, the mother doesn't have time to be a parent when she just now, you know, I'm still going out. You know what I'm saying? I done had you when I was young. I didn't get to go to my prom.
Right.
I didn't get to do this. I didn't
So
get
I'm
to do that.
up. You old enough to take care of yourself.
Yeah. And so while you gone kicking it all the time, your daughter bringing little boys over to the house.
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how she's starting to date. That's how she's introduced to dating. By hey, you can come over my house. My mama not home. Even if she don't invite him, if the little boy knows that your mama not home, let me come over your house and chill with you, who there with you. You know what I'm saying? And if you like the little boy, you sweet on him, you gonna let him come over there. So that's and now she's introduced to that whole coming over and walking out. Now your rotating door has started in your life. You don't even realize. You know what I'm saying? So to our young mothers, you know what I'm saying? Let's just seek wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure that we're always pointing to our kids positivity. Watch exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's time out for a lot of stuff. But just make sure that our kids are seeing positive things. That they're always seeing you be a lady. You know what I'm saying? That's a good quote that I've heard a couple times in my life, even from my own mother. Is no matter what, always let your children see you be a lady. Because that's what a mother is. She's a lady. Um, at the end of the day. So happy Mother's Day. We give our flowers to all the mothers out there. We hope that on Sunday you guys enjoy your day. That you are showered with flowers and
And food, you don't have to
gifts. I was
cook.
gonna say food. You know what?
Yes.
So Facebook, we just want to say thank you for watching today's show, and, and we'll see y'all next week for another week of What Have You Tried It For Yourself. Be sure to like, follow us, and share on Facebook at What Have You Tried It For Yourself. You can also follow us on YouTube and Instagram at Try It with Jazzy Red. I'm your host, Jazzy Red. We don't have Yellow Baby no more. I don't know when she coming back. Yeah. Bye, y'all.